Welcome to Interviews by Kathleen, where I dive into the fascinating world of authors, publishers, editors, narrators, illustrators, and more. I'm your host, Kathleen Osborne, an author of science fiction romance with aliens. I have 3 novels out, and I am also the founder of Transcendent Authors, a group of authors from multiple genres that write anthologies. But today, I am so excited to introduce my guest, La Bourgeois. She is from Ithaca, New York. She is an author. She is a creativity coach. She helps with retreats or puts on retreats. This woman is talented and gifted. I would love for her to first start out with telling us about when and how she got started writing.
Hi. Okay, well, let's do it. So I started writing when I was a child. I just kind of took that love of writing and extended it all the way through my whole life. So I can't remember a time when I wasn't in love with words. I started writing professionally in 1998 when I opened an internet service provider with my wife up in Steamboat Springs, Colorado. And there I started doing mainly advertising copy. I wrote the whole website for us. I wrote scripts for a radio show that we did. I just kind of took over anything that we needed that needed writing. I did. And I did that for other businesses that we owned and for other people I was employed by up until 2022 when I really leapt into professional writing as my primary source of income. And so now that's a lot of what I do.
You also said that you have a love of newsletters.
I do. I do love a newsletter. I love to get them. I love to send them. I like to read them. I like to analyze them. One of the things, I use newsletters in 2 different ways. So I have a newsletter that is called Diary of a Lesbian Housewife. And that newsletter is a newsletter where I write at least 1 essay a week and send it out to the people who subscribe. And that's at lesbianhousewife.substack.com. And housewife is with a Y, HOUSEWYFE. And that's a way that I use to collect all of my essays. So at this point, I have 1 book of essays, The Diary of a Lesbian Housewife, that I put out last year. And then I have another collection of essays that's based on essays I wrote for this newsletter that's coming out this year. End of July, beginning of August. I'm still finishing up the cover and stuff like that, doing all the fun self-publishing stuff. But because I've been doing this for a while, then I have collections of essays that are in the wings and waiting to go out. So that's super good, fun. So that's one way you can use a newsletter. But then another way is to actually keep a connection with your readers and clients and patrons. And I do that with my creativity coaching, through another newsletter called The Thriving Creative. Again, on Substack. It's actually under my name, labourgeois.substack.com. But there, I share information about different events that are going on. I share information about my services and what I do. I share my philosophy. And this year, I'm doing a kind of a fun thing, which is called Books for Thriving Creatives. And each month, we read a different book, either on creativity or on the craft of writing. And really, we just kind of dive into that. We read it together. At the end of the month, I do a review. And then if I can get the author to talk to me, we do an interview But I've had some great ones. I got to interview Scott Dickers, who is the founder of The Onion, if you've heard of The Onion newspaper. And then also Jane Friedman, who talks about the business of writing. And she was fascinating. So there have been some really fun things like that. But those things are ways that I'm able to really help to serve the people who are reading that newsletter and keep them interested and keep them connected with me and what I'm doing, and hopefully entertained.
You also offer services for other people?
I do writing for people, and I do copywriting for people. I've done ghostwriting for people. I have done journalism for people, so I write articles for publications, newspapers, things like that. But then I also offer my creativity coaching. I do it one-on-one. And it is a really beautiful process. I'm certified in the Kaizen-Muse Creativity Coaching. And that process is very playful. It's very focused on kind of getting you through different obstacles, disarming overwhelm, and getting you through procrastination, and really finding those spaces within you that help you to overcome the issue. So it's not about me, it's about what's going on with you. And we go deep into your history and things like that to make that happen.
Writers, law,
Pardon?
or is it for any creative?
It is for it. This process works for any creative. I've worked with a lot of different people on a lot of different processes. Really, creativity coaching is about thinking differently, helping you to think differently and unlock your creativity. I have a lot of experience with writers and working with people to help them to publish a book, to help them to market a book, to help them to market their own writing and do things like maintaining that connection with their readers. But I worked with a woman who is a jeweler. I've worked with a guy who built guitars, a luthier. And I even worked with one lady who wanted me to help her to unlock her creativity so she could redecorate her Airbnb. And we ended up actually discovering that what she really wanted was to figure out how to open herself up to love again. So, and worked through that. So things can come up that I don't know, neither of us know are going to happen. And then all of a sudden we're in the midst of this situation and that's the thing that they really want to work on. So I've done a lot of work with a lot of different people, but I think I have the most experience with writing and the most experience with really helping you to get kind of a business together. Whenever you're starting to work on your writing and putting it out there into the world, going into things like publishing, creating a paid newsletter, or anything where you're taking your work and you're trying to sell it to somebody else in any form, you're creating a business. And I have a lot of experience in creating and maintaining businesses.
Because I have been in business for myself several times. I'm definitely an entrepreneur. And that was the hardest thing for me to learn, was to create those, have your business license, have your EIN number, have an accounting system set up, even if it's only a ledger book that you put stuff in like you would for your checkbook ledger so that you could track your expenses, having a folder where you put all your expenses in, keeping them separate from the family, all of those little things.
Yep.
Because it is a business. I've been in direct sales. I was a designer for dog clothing. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that was a real trip because I couldn't sew when I started. In a year, I had two. Um, one was a lady. She was from Nordstrom, a master seamstress for them, and she's
Nice.
never seen anybody's such quality work. And then I had a retired master's. No, what are they called for men? I forget. Anyway,
Oh, a tailor maybe?
yeah. He said the same thing. And I'm going over because I'm in the market, farmer's market, and I'm grabbing my friends in the next booth. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? you know, because I had so little confidence in sewing. And when I got married, my husband thought all women should be able to sew. Well, I couldn't. And he got me a sewing machine, and it was an adversarial relationship. I'd sit down and that sucker would break. It would stop. It would jam. It would do. If I tried to do anything but a straight seam, forget it.
Oh
So
my gosh.
I gave it away. And then I had a friend that is an excellent seamstress. And I bought one, and she's handed me the box cutter. She says, "This is how you open the box." That's basically. But in a year, I had developed a huge business. So I know the fear of that, understanding from direct selling and doing another business also. I'm retired Air Force, so we learn to adapt. There was one other question I had for you, and it said that you said that you also had a BA in theater. So what did you do in theater?
Well, in our theater program, we did everything. We did everything. So I have been on stage. Part of what I had to do was direct a play to graduate. I was a stage manager. I didn't do like lighting design, but I did do sound design, and I did a lot of operating of boards and things like that to get the music into the theater. Yeah, so I just kind of did our program. Within our program at the University of Denver, we had to do everything from build the sets all the way up to directing the play. I really fell into kind of the things that I was most interested in were acting and directing and stage management. I loved stage management and still do. And it really does, like, there are so many places where theater helps. It helps you to figure out collaboration, It gives you that tool. It gives you the tool of working out issues with people, figuring out how to make something happen in a creative way. So if you get to a problem, you know that you can solve it. You may not have this solution at hand right now, but you know that you can figure it out. And theater really does that for you. So yeah, I did. I've done all of those, fulfilled all those roles.
I know a lot of people that are in movies and write screenplays and stuff like that. And then I got told that if you've done that, writing a book is easy. But I think it's a challenge still for them because I see them facing challenges. They're not the same as what I face because they're coming at it from a different angle, but they are more descriptive than some authors are, and they're more into showing than telling. And I've worked with one gentleman. He had theater up on was just off Broadway. Anyway, it was a Shakespearean,
Oh,
and
nice.
taught on how to read,
Mm,
and staying within a 3 to 5 minute range.
mhm. Absolutely.
So that helped me a great deal in
Hmm.
doing any public readings or anything like that. I wanted to delve a little bit deeper into your writer's retreat.
Oh, okay.
What
Alrighty.
what exactly do you do at your retreat? Is it once a year? Is it quarterly, semi-annually?
So I'm doing this actually this year. I'm doing the writer's retreat for the very first time.
Ooh.
Yeah, I did last year. I started doing retreats, and I started off with a reader's retreat, which is where we just got together and we read for a whole weekend, and it was super fun.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And we're doing this writer's retreat at the same space, which is in Delhi, New York, which is in upstate New York. It's in the Catskills. And it's in this beautiful old Victorian house called Birdie's House that's run by actually another author. Her name's Kay Kepler. And she put together this retreat space just because she wanted to give artists a space to come and be in a beautiful setting and be able to get some work done. And she's been wanting to do a writer's retreat, and I was like, well, let's do it, girlfriend. Let's make this happen. So July 25th through the 28th this year, which is a Friday through a Monday. And what I wanted was really to make sure that we had 2 full days of writing space.
Mhm.
So people come in on Friday and we start writing Friday evening, and then people will be leaving like midday on Monday. My big thing that I want to do, and this is something that actually comes from the coaching, is to get out of the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like get people started doing. I'm thinking that we'll probably do some writing sprints just to kind of get into the mode of sitting and staring at a page for a little while. But then on Saturday and Sunday, unless people really feel like they need, I'll have writing exercises for anybody who feels like they need that. But really, my plan is to get out of the way and let people just have breakfast and write for a while, and then show up and be like, it's time for lunch. Come eat, take a little break, and then go back to your writing. Hey, it's dinner time or snack time or something like that. Like every couple hours, just kind of like beep. And other than that, just kind of get out of their way. Part of what is included is a creativity coaching session where we really sit down and we go through a whole session together and talk about the issues that are going on, any issues they're having with their writing, any plans, goals that they would like to do, anything like that. And we just kind of go through that and through my coaching process.
Mhm.
And probably they're very close to Delhi, is Hobart, New York. I don't know if you've heard of Hobart, but yes, it is the book village of the Catskills.
Oh,
And it is this little town, and each side of the street is literally bookshops, just all the way down the street. Yeah. And so you get to just go. We're going to definitely, you got to take a little trip and check that out. So we're going to go over and do a little book shopping over there. And there's also, if people are taking breaks, I know that there is another bookshop in Delhi called the Lost Bookshop, which I think is one of the most darling names for a bookshop I have ever heard. And that is within like 5 minutes of the retreat space. But it's just it's going to be a real relaxing time, a time to actually sit down and get some work done. and some time to enjoy being with fellow writers and writing at the same time. There is a concept in um, my coaching style, which is called parallel universe time, which is all about really co-working. So sitting down in a space with someone else who's also working and working together. And that is, when you do that, there's this beautiful energy that starts getting developed, and you get so much more stuff done in so much less time than you think you will.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's part of what I'm looking forward to in the writing retreat.
Yeah, I know. I've been to one writer's retreat,
Mhm.
and it was wonderful. We went out to dinner the first night because the chef had everybody fill out forms so she knew what to buy to feed us, because she did all the cooking. She wasn't a writer.
Yep.
And a chef. And then the only thing we had to make on our own was coffee, because she didn't know how to make coffee.
Well, Kay knows how to make coffee, and she actually last year at the readers retreat, she fed us so well that even there were two people who came who were vegan, and one of them said, I can't tell you how amazing the food was, because all of us, even I'm an omnivore, right? And I felt very well fed. And we ate vegan the whole weekend. And this one woman who is a vegan, she said, I've never gone somewhere where I haven't had to go into my snack box. Like, she brings food with her, so she makes sure. And she hadn't had to go into her snack box the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kay, we give her all of the information that she needs. And she puts together these gorgeous meals that are amazing. And she's just a home cook. You know
what my friend is, she was a caterer for me before in a career, but she cooks for keto
oh yeah
and gluten-free. So and that's our big major things out this way. But what was really neat was mealtime was I got a problem. What do you think?
Yeah.
It was brainstorming time. And once in a while they would have a movie that everybody would dissect.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And figure out, most of us could figure out what happened even before it happened. But the thing is it turned on the analytical that you also need if you're in the editing stage. So it was very nice. And that's what I want. I don't want tours. I don't think we need tours. That's just my opinion.
Sure.
To me, it's just a place with no responsibilities. Somebody's cooking for me. I don't have anything but my wee little self.
That's right.
I'm really excited to hear about your retreat, and I just know it's going to be a wonderful time for anybody who can go. How would somebody get in touch with you if they wanted to come?
The easiest to do would probably be just to email me at it's probably easier to just email me at the housewife address. So it's law@housewife, which is HOUSEWYFE.com.
Okay.
And just say that you're interested in the writing retreat. Or the reading retreat. I'm going to do another reading retreat in September, into September.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been such a wonderful time exploring Law's world and sharing it with you. But don't forget to we're going to close out, but don't forget to check out the slide at the end of this video. It's going to have all the contact information for her and any upcoming things that she has going, along with the different things I am doing and are available to you also. Thank you again for joining us. And love, Bourgeois, I hope we get to do this again. You're a doll.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.